What up, guys? This is Good Happenings, yes, and today we're going to be looking at the genes of the entire world. Right, so the entire world basically starts out in Ethiopia, and I guess these become the Bushmen, and then these also become, I'm not really too knowledgeable in, like, the entirety of Africa, but these guys are, like, South Africans, and but these ones are Bushmen, and they're kind of different because they're lighter skinned, and they have kind of facial features from all across the world, like pretty much just they look like blacks and Asians put together. It's kind of cool. And so it starts out with A and then becomes B, and I think B becomes I think B is Bantu actually. That might be what it is. So like yeah, like dark skinned people and then medium skinned people, and then the next branch up is E, and I think this happened when a sub-Saharan woman had a kid with a Caucasoid man, like Arab or something like that. So that becomes E3A, and then yeah, like I guess more so West African, and then also just comes up into here into Sudan and Egypt, and then like Israel, Palestine area, up through Turkey, and then into the Balkans. And the highest concentration in Europe is in Kosovo and Albania, but it also has like larger pockets just throughout the entirety of the area. And there's a lot of E in, like there's also a lot of E in Greece, so it seems like Greece and Egypt, their civilization started out from basically what were originally Somalians, and so half Caucasoid, half sub-Saharan people traveling up through here, and you can see it in the similarities in the architecture between Greece and Egypt. They just kind of have a similar early society, and I guess when they get up into here, they become Phoenicians, because I guess ancient Phoenicia was Tunisia, but I think the genes for them started out somewhere around here. Or no, I don't think so. I think they're more Semitic, so that'd be a J. So anyways, after E, oh, what's also cool is that like Greeks and like Egyptians are pretty much like one of the oldest people on the planet, like predating Jews. I think that's super crazy. Anyway, so after that it becomes F, which branches off to J2 and J1, and those are Semitic genes, like stuff like Arab, Jews, Palestinians, Iraqis, Turkish people, to a lesser extent, Balkan people, and I think Greece has quite a bit of that though, and also North Africans, so like Berbers and Algerians, Tunisians, which are Phoenicians, and all the way up into, I think Spain is like 9% North African. I can't remember if that's E or if that's the J2, but yeah, they're a mixture somewhat of that. That's why Spaniards are a bit darker. They have kind of more Arab features sometimes. So yeah, after J, which is Semites, it becomes I. And what I think I is just pretty much Jews that are super white skinned. So like white skinned Jews, which is basically almost well on your way to being just Western European. So I2A2 is like the progenitor of sorry, I don't know how to use that, but freaking sorry, that's retarded. Yeah, they become Bosnians basically, or so Bosnians have the highest concentration of I in Europe, I'm pretty sure, or at least the first I, which is I2A2, and then becomes I1A, I1C, so up into Sweden, Denmark, Germany area, they have a lot of I, which is pretty crazy to me because I just didn't know that until like a couple days ago. Yeah, then I think this also branches off, and oh, okay, so I just missed all this before C. So this is what you see when you see dark-skinned populations from basically right here up through Arabia, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, southern East Asia or Southern Asia, down into basically where the Australian Aboriginals are, and this is basically a very similar race. These dark-skinned people in the southern areas all throughout here come from a similar place where E branched off, so they have a similar ancestor, which is crazy that Greeks and Australian Aboriginals are closer together than basically Asians and Mexicans. That's super insane. And so then it becomes, yeah, so C, dark skin population. D, I think, is also less so, but very similar. You can see just everyone's going to look similar who comes off from a certain branch. Every time it kind of branches off like that, the original people are going to look similar, like an in-between. And then M, I guess M is just a major contributor to Indonesians. I never actually studied M yet, so I've mostly just studied basically North Africa, Europe, Asia, India area, so, and Asians, and Mexicans. So, yeah, then they become C, or so C branches off right here, I guess, and becomes the mixture of the North Asian. So, okay, there's a look that's kind of shared between Western Europeans and Asians, which is the wide-headedness and just kind of like larger hips for birth. Like, they just have similar phenotype. They have shorter arms and longer torsos. It's very white and Asian-y type thing. Well, so this original population that branched off from right here became mixed with, or just becomes the Chinese race, which is basically C, like that D, and then O. I think O is actually like larger thing right there, but yeah, like I bet a lot of C's in China, in Japan, a lot of O and a lot of D and a lot of Q. So Q is more like Mongolians and Sarmatians, I guess, if you kind of go back. But yeah, the pretty much the guys that become later on Mexicans, East Asians. Yeah, but not Inuit. I think Inuit's N, but we'll get to that. So yeah, so that's what's kind of cool. Like Chinese kind of have that look of the original dark-skinned people, like in the face, and then they have the skin color and body type features of a very northern kind of Caucasoid Mongolian kind of look, and it's really cool. Alright, so back to here. H, I think, is Dravidian, or at least Gypsy, or sorry, not Gypsy, like Romani or Indian, so basically like the dark-skinned Indian people. And I know North Indians have a lot of R1A, which is Sarmatian, so basically they were Indo-Europeans, and they came and conquered India, and then they branched back off, and they branched off and then became Slavs, which are R1A, and then later on from the Slavs came Western Europeans as we know them today. So I think Western Europeans and Asians, or just Europeans of Western descent, and Slavs and Asians and Mexicans, all are pretty much the newest races on the planet. Maybe Inuit are kind of new too, but, or no, that's kind of further back. So yeah, as you can see, this is like the most recent of the human races. Like, yeah, well, these guys have a very ancient streak from back where E and C became a thing and all that, and F. Yeah, so that's the Mexican look, I'm pretty sure. And then, yeah, so that's just super crazy how, like, whites came from, like, northern India, or Iran, or whites, Asians. Wow. Yeah, whites, Asians, and yeah, whites and Asians, they all came from Iran, and they split off, and then they become, basically, I think these guys are like Kazakhstanis, or I don't know, some sort of Central Asian genes are R2, and they split off from when these guys split off, so R2 became Central Asian, R becomes the pre-Europeans as we know them today, but from that original branch off, that they became Asians at the same time, so yeah, that's super cool.